5G technology will soon be everywhere. But who will control the networks? Will China put our security at risk? Welcome back to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. The world is on the cusp of 5G technology. Soon, we will not only all have faster internet on our phones, but we'll also have tons of connected smart devices. Your TV, your refrigerator, your car will all be connected to the internet. They'll be able to communicate with each other wirelessly and laugh at you for sitting on your couch all weekend, eating ice cream and watching Money Heist. Stop judging me! Thankfully, we're not there yet. But there is a war going on for who will build the world's 5G networks. On one side, you have telecom companies from the free world, like Nokia, Ericsson, and Samsung. On the other side, you have Huawei and ZTE from China. Huawei is the world's largest telecommunications provider. The U.S. has claimed the company is deeply in bed with the Chinese Communist Party and is a national security threat to any country that uses it. As in, like, Huawei might use its technology to spy on people. In fact, last month, the Pentagon added Huawei to a list of Chinese companies controlled by the Chinese military. Also last month, the FCC formally declared Huawei and ZTE national security threats. In explaining the decision, FCC Chairman Ajit Pai called out the company's ties to the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese military, and the fact that they are subject to Chinese law that means they must cooperate with Chinese intelligence services. Pai also said, "We cannot and will not allow the Chinese Communist Party to exploit network vulnerabilities and compromise our critical communications infrastructure." Which is also why the U.S. State Department is now talking about what it calls 5G clean networks. The 5G clean path is an end-to-end communication path that does not use any transmission, control, computing, or storage equipment from untrusted IT vendors, such as Huawei and ZTE, which are required to comply with directives of the Chinese Communist Party. There are a variety of companies that have vowed to take the 5G clean path, which sounds like the Mormon answer to 5G. No smoking, no drinking, and no Chinese technology. Well, what makes for clean 5G? A 5G provider must meet what are called digital trust standards. These criteria were developed by a group of private sector experts from companies and research institutions in the United States, Europe, and Asia, and were assembled by the Center for Strategic and International Studies. For example, suppliers are more trustworthy if they are headquartered in countries with democratically elected governments. Suppliers are more trustworthy if they are headquartered in a country with an independent judiciary. But suppliers with opaque ownership structures, which are state-owned or where ownership is restricted to nationals of a single country, are less trustworthy. Suppliers are less trustworthy if the national laws of the country where they are headquartered mandate cooperation with the government or give the government special rights that cannot be challenged in court or the national legislature. I wonder which country they could subtly be talking about. Europe has come up with similar guidelines, what are called the Prague Proposals. It's very pragmatic. You should check it out. It says malicious actors operate in cyberspace with the intention to undermine cohesion of our societies and paralyze the proper functioning of states or businesses. Again, not any malicious actors in particular. And this is a sign, as the U.S. State Department says, that the tide is turning toward trusted 5G vendors. That's as the U.S. government has spent the last few years working to build a coalition of countries and companies who want to secure their 5G networks. It wasn't easy at first, but more and more countries are choosing clean 5G. This is from earlier this month.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson ordered Huawei equipment to be removed from Britain's 5G network by 2027. It reversed a decision earlier this year to allow the Chinese firm a limited role in building the system. The government said Huawei was banned following cybersecurity assessments. From the end of this year, operators will not be able to purchase 5G components from Huawei.
The UK isn't alone. Back in 2018, Australia banned Huawei and ZTE from their 5G networks. And as the State Department points out, other clean 5G countries include Czech Republic, Poland, Sweden, Estonia, Romania, Denmark, and Latvia. Greece has agreed to use Ericsson rather than Huawei to develop its 5G infrastructure. And India may be next. India has already banned 59 Chinese apps. That followed a deadly clash with Chinese troops over a disputed border, which is unrelated, but it probably made India trust China a lot less. And now, India is considering banning Huawei. That could pave the way to a closer alliance with the United States.
I also think that the US and India will partner on 5G and creating kind of the digital infrastructure of the future, and this will continue to be an area of growing importance.
However, some Western countries aren't bothered by having their sensitive technological infrastructure built by an authoritarian regime.
France will not join the US and UK in banning Huawei. On Tuesday, Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire said the telecoms gear maker would still be allowed to invest there.
Great! The French have surrendered to China. Who could have seen that one coming? But there's one country that could turn the tide on clean 5G: Germany. According to The Economist, now all eyes are on Germany, which has said it will decide on Huawei in the autumn. If it follows America's urging and Britain's example, then the rest of the EU will probably go the same way. But that's by no means certain. Germany's largest telecom is 32% state-owned, and it relies heavily on Huawei technology. It has lobbied strongly against any action that would make it harder for it to roll out 5G. The Ministry of Economic Affairs, often eager to defend the interests of German industry, has backed the firm. And Merkel herself has been accused of being soft on China. In the 15 years since she took over as chancellor in 2005, German exports to China have quintupled. And now she's coming under fire for her China stance. So Germany has a choice to make, a choice that could determine the fate of 5G for the rest of Europe. Do they want to be like France? Or do they want to be like America? Now, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you who support this show on Patreon. With YouTube demonetizing us so much, we'd have to have shut down the show. But your support keeps us going. Visit patreon.com/AmericaUncovered to find out how you can help. So what do you think about clean 5G? Let me know what you think in the comments below, especially if you're watching this from a Huawei phone. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.